Hi guys, you are welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you are welcome. Today we are coming to learn how to sew these trendy skirts. So if that's what you want to learn, then let's get right into the video. The one I saw, they use Ankara or wax print to make it, but I want to make mine different. So I'm using a paradise material or a silk material with the illusion net, and the net I'm using, not the plain one, the one with the polka dots in it. So that's the one we are using. So we are cutting the lining, the inner skirt, before the illusion one will come on top. So that's the one I'm cutting. I want the length to be 18 inches, so I added 2 inches sewing allowance that I will hem it at the bottom, so I cut 20 inches. So I'll use the rest for the band. So that's what I've cut. So the length is 20 inches, so I'll fold 2 inches in so that the length will be 18. That's the inner, the short one in the skirt. So I'm cutting the band. I cut it 2 inches. By the time I'll finish sewing, it will be 1.5, but I realized the 1.5 will be too big, so I short it to be 1. So I reduce it to be 1.5 after finishing. Then I get my band 1 inch. I hope you understand. So that's the band I'm coming to cut. Then after that we'll shape our skirt, then we cut the illusion net. So I'm cutting the band. I'll reduce it by 1 inch. So if you are making yours and you want the band to be big, fine. By mine, I decided to short the length instead, 1.5 inch to 1. So this is it. So we are now coming to cut the inner skirt before the illusion skirt will come on it. You will sew everything separately. The lining will be separate, the illusion one will be separate, then you join all together at the zip line. I hope I make sense. At the zip line. So I'll use the measurement to cut the fabric. So I'll use the waist to mark in the hip, then the knee. So the waist is 36, the hip is 44, and the knee is 20. So I added 1.5 sewing allowance to all the measurements. The waist I added 1.5, hip 1.5, knee 1.5. So that's what I'm going to mark now. Remember, when you are sewing it, remember to add the bottom part. You have to hem some inside, like 2 inches. So I cut mine 20 inches. I'll fold 2 inches in for the hemming allowance, if I make sense. So I'm trimming the rough side. So you will go inward 1 inch, then you connect that to the side before you do your measurements. So the front will be shorter than the back. I hope I make sense. The front will be shorter than the back. So that's the 1 inch I'm rolling the line. So I'll connect it to the side, then cut it. So I'm using the measurement to shape it. Then after that I'll cut it. Then I'll cut the illusion net. So that's the measurement I've cut, I've shaped. So I'm cutting it. Then after that we'll cut our illusion net. So the length of from the waist to the knee is 18 inches. So I cut the illusion 121 inch. I hope I make sense. That one will be longer than the inner one. The inner one is supposed to be short. My thumbnail, the inner one is too short. I don't like it too short like that, so that I can wear it to different places. So mine, I prefer 18 inches, the inner one. I don't want it too short, so it depends on how you want yours, but mine is 18 inches, the inner, and the illusion net will be 21. Then the two sisters that have, the Egyptian that have pulled the goddess, one is 15 inches, so both the two is 30 inches, so one will be on top of each other. When you pull it, one will be on top, then the one that will join the knee two will come and join on top of the knee one. I hope I make sense. So I'm coming to measure the length of the length of the skirt is 45 inches. The length is 45 inches, so I wanted to deduct the 18 inches from it, then I'll divide the remaining measurements into two. So that's what I'll use to cut the bottom part, the two sisters. So that's the one I got 28, but I made it 30 inches because I want it a little longer. So I'm coming to cut the skirt one. You have to cut some of the illusion nets for the top before you cut the sisters, the two steps. So I'm cutting that one. I'll put the lining or the inner lining on it and use it to cut. So that's what I'm putting on it. So that one, the lining is 18 inches, is 20. You fold 2 inches in, so you get 18. So that's what I'm folding. So I'm using 21 inches, the length. The illusion one is 22 and the lining is 18. So 3 inches interval before I will join the sisters or the steps. So 18 inches. Then the illusion net, the main one is 21 inches. So that's what I've marked. 21. Yes, 21. So I've marked it, so I will shape it. Yes, I'm cutting it. Then after that we cut the one that we'll use for the goddess. The top one I use 5 yards for the upper one, because that one, the knee is small, so I use 5 yards. But if you want yours to be a little fuller, you can add more yards. But the bottom one I use 16 yards. 16 yards, but I didn't double it because this one is a little bit thicker. It's not like the lighter one because there's some polka dots on it, so it's a little bit thicker. That's what they use for the bridal sleeves and the other parts of the body. So the down one is 16 yards, the upper part is 5 yards. The one that will join the knee is 5 yards, and the one below the knee is 16 yards. So bear it in mind. When you are buying, you have to buy plenty before you get what you want. But even mine, I have some joints in it, but if you don't want to have a joint in it, then you have to buy about 20 yards, then you get what you want. But when you buy 20 yards, you get some left over. So I'm trimming the border or the edges from the material. That one is rough, so I want it straight before I'll cut the goddess. So that's what we'll use for the goddess at the bottom part. So the width is 5 yards and the length is 15 inches, and the bottom one, the width is 16 yards and the length is 15 inches. So I'm coming to mark the 15 inches. Then I'll roll the line and cut and put it on the other side, other one, and cut the same length, because we are using same length for the both two. So that's what I'm marking, the 15 inches. So the gathers will be on top, like you leave about ½ inch before you sew your gathers, then you put it on the skirt. I hope I make sense. Because of the fabric you can't see it well, but when you look at the picture on the thumbnail you understand what I mean. So that's the gathers that we'll use for the bottom part. So I'll put it on it again and cut the second one. So I'm doubling it, then after that I'll sew. It's not double, you sew it single. I just want to put it on it and cut it so that I'll get same measurements. So I finished running my gathers. I'm pulling it, so after that we'll join it to the main fabric or the skirt. So I've finished pulling it. I'm putting the top one, the bottom one on the top one. I hope you understand. Then you sew it, you run your stitches there. So I'll take it to the machine, sew it and bring it for us to see. So I'll finish joining the bottom part. Now we'll come and sew the main skirts. So this is it. I've finished running my gathers. I'll put it aside. I've joined the bottom part to the upper one, so we'll just join it at the knee. So we are coming to make the main piece and the lining. So I've shaped it. I will make that on the illusion net because it's a soft fabric. I will do it like a pleat, but the inner one or the lining I've sewn the dart so that we'll get that shape that we want. So I'm going to shape it, bring it for us to see. So I'm attaching the bottom part, the gathers, to the upper part of the skirt. So that's what I've pinned there. So it will be separate, shape everything separate. The lining should be separate, the illusion net should be separate. So I've finished. I've hemmed the bottom part of the lining. I folded 2 inches in. I've sewn it nicely. So I'll now attach it to the illusion skirt. So that one will be shorter than the illusion. I hope I make sense. So after that, we sew our zip line, fix our zip, then we attach the band, then the skirt is ready. So you can try it and see how it looks. This skirt is giving what it's supposed to give. I can't imagine myself rocking this skirt. I will rock it with a corset top. The way the skirt is to go with a corset top. So I'll make a corset top tutorial that we'll use to match this top. So please watch till the end so that you learn how to manage this type of fabric. So I'm pinning everything, so I don't, that's the pleat. I folded it in like a plate. It's not a dart because the fabric is soft. I don't want it to be crooked or something, so I folded it in. So I'm pinning everything down, then I'll go and sew the zip, then we attach the band, or we fix our band, then our skirt is ready. The fabric is very delicate, so when you are sewing, you have to have patience so that everything will be neat and nice. So that's the pleat I'm making. I'm making the pleat on the dart, exactly at the dart, so that it will look like a dart, but it's a pleat because of the fabric. I didn't want to make it as a dart that maybe the illusion will tear or something, or there will be a hole. So I made it as a plate. So I've finished. I'm going to sew my zip, then I'll fix the zip, then I'll attach the band, then come put it on the dress form for us to see. Please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. So I'm now going to sew the zip, then I have my matching zip and my matching thread. The color is off-white. The fabric I'm using is a off-white. It's not white, it's off-white. So you can see the lining is shorter than the main. I've fixed the zip, so now I've ironed the band. You can see I said I want the band to be 1 inch, so I'm now going to sew the band, then I put it on the mannequin for us to see the finished look of our elegant skirt. So all the time when you are sewing this type of fabrics, make sure you fix an invisible zip. Don't fix that jacket zip. Fix an invisible zip. It make the skirts or the dress look elegant and neat and classy. When you wear it, everybody will say, wow, this thing is neat and worldly made. So this is the finish. That's the back view. I've not fixed the hook and eye at the back, so this is the back. We'll see the front. This is the front, so you can try it and see how yours will come out. So see you in the next one. Bye bye bye. So you sew everything separately. Don't attach the lining to the illusion net. No, shape the lining separately, shape the illusion net separately. So thank you, bye bye, see you in the next one.